Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right spiritually, yet something still feels stuck? Like you're meditating, visualizing, affirming, but there's this underlying tension that won't release. You're not broken, and you're not failing. What you're feeling is resistance, and it's actually your inner wisdom trying to guide you towards something deeper. Today, I want to share 4 gentle signs that your attachment might be creating this resistance. Not so you can fix yourself, but so you can recognize these patterns with compassion and begin to soften. This isn't about doing more work. It's about understanding where you might be gripping too tightly, so you can slowly, gently let go. Sign 1. Hyper-fixation on the how. The first sign is when you find yourself trying to micromanage the universe. You know what you want, but you've also decided exactly how it should happen, when it should happen, and through which specific doors it must arrive. This is like standing by a river and trying to push the water upstream. The river knows where it's going. It has carved its path through stone over thousands of years. But we stand there with our hands in the current, exhausting ourselves, trying to direct each drop. You might notice this as obsessing over specific pathways. Maybe you've decided your soulmate must come through a dating app, or your dream job has to open up at that particular company. Perhaps you've mapped out exactly which opportunities need to align and in what order. But here's what I want you to understand, beautiful soul. The how belongs to the universe, not to you. Your job is to hold the vision, to stay aligned with your desires, and to take inspired action when it feels good. The universe's job is the orchestration, the timing, the specific pathways that you couldn't possibly see from your current vantage point. When you grip the how, you're essentially telling infinite intelligence that your limited perspective knows better than the cosmic intelligence that moves planets and grows flowers. You're creating resistance because you're working against the natural flow instead of with it. The practice here is simple but profound. When you notice yourself obsessing over the specific ways your desires should manifest, gently return to the what and the why. What do you truly want to feel? Why does this matter to your soul? Let the universe surprise you with the how. This doesn't mean you become passive. It means you take aligned action while staying open to paths you never considered. When you stop trying to manage outcomes, you discover something beautiful. You have so much more energy for actually living, for being present, for noticing the magic that's already here. And paradoxically, this softened state is exactly the vibration that allows your desires to flow to you more easily. Sign 2. Emotional reactivity to delays. The second sign is when delays feel like personal rejection from life itself. When something doesn't happen in your preferred timeline, you spiral into stories about being forgotten, punished, or somehow not worthy of what you've asked for. This is like planting a seed and then pulling it up every few days to check if it's growing. You planted it with love and intention, but then anxiety takes over. Why isn't there a sprout yet? Maybe the soil isn't good enough. Maybe you did something wrong. So you dig it up, examine the roots, replant it, and wonder why it's not thriving. The seed knows exactly what it's doing underground. It's developing the root system that will eventually support the beautiful plant you'll see above ground. But you can't see this invisible work so you interpret the delay as evidence that nothing is happening. Here's the gentle truth. Delays are not divine punishment. They're not signs that you've been forgotten or that your desires are too big or too much. Most often, delays are divine timing. They're the universe's way of ensuring that when your desires do manifest, you're truly ready to receive them, and they're aligned with your highest good. There's a difference between disappointment and resistance. Disappointment is natural when things don't unfold as quickly as you'd hoped. You feel it, you honor it, and then you return to trust. Resistance is when you take the delay personally and create stories about what it means about you or your worthiness. Emotional reactivity to delays creates what I call energetic static. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while someone's running a blender nearby. The signal is there, but all that emotional turbulence makes it harder to receive clearly. The practice here is meeting delays with curiosity instead of desperation. When something doesn't happen in your preferred timeline, take a breath and ask, what if this delay is actually perfect? What if there's something I can't see yet that makes this timing exactly right? This doesn't mean you don't feel disappointed. Feel it fully. But then gently return to trust, knowing that your desires are still valid, still coming, still being orchestrated in ways that serve your highest good. Sign 3. Constant checking for results. The third sign is living in what I call waiting room consciousness. You know this energy well. It's when you're constantly scanning your reality for evidence that your desires are manifesting. Checking and rechecking like you're waiting for test results that will determine your entire future. This is like watching a pot of water and expecting it to boil faster because you're staring at it. You set the pot on the stove, you turn on the heat, but then you stand there, arms crossed, tapping your foot, wondering why it's taking so long. Meanwhile, you're missing the entire rest of your kitchen, the rest of your home, the rest of your life. When you're constantly checking for results, you're sending a very specific vibration out into the universe. You're essentially broadcasting, it's not here yet, I don't have it, I'm still waiting. And the universe, which responds to your energetic state, keeps matching that frequency of not here yet. This creates a frustrating cycle. The more you check, the more you reinforce the absence of what you want. The more you reinforce the absence, the longer you stay in the waiting room energy. The longer you stay in waiting room energy, the more anxious you become about checking. There's a difference between awareness and surveillance. Awareness is staying open to signs, synchronicities, and opportunities while living fully in the present moment. Surveillance is constantly monitoring your reality with the desperate energy of someone who believes their worthiness depends on external proof. The practice here is returning your attention to the gifts that are already here. Not as a way to stop wanting what you want, but as a way to fill yourself up with gratitude and presence, so you're not running on empty while you wait. When you catch yourself in checking mode, gently ask, what is beautiful about my life right now? What am I grateful for in this exact moment? Let yourself really feel into the abundance that already exists, even if it's just the breath in your lungs or the roof over your head. This isn't about pretending you don't want what you want. It's about nourishing yourself with present moment awareness, so you're not spiritually starving while your desires take shape behind the scenes. Sign 4. Identity tied to results. The fourth and deepest sign is when your sense of self-worth feels completely tied to whether your desires manifest. This is the root of all spiritual resistance, because it turns manifestation into a test of your value as a human being. You might notice thoughts like, if this doesn't work out, it means I'm not meant for love. Or, if I don't get this opportunity, maybe I'm just not good enough. Or, if I can't manifest this, what's wrong with me spiritually? This attachment runs so deep because it touches the core wound that most of us carry, the belief that we are not enough as we are. We unconsciously decide that external outcomes will finally prove our worthiness, that achievements will fill the hole we feel inside, that manifestations will complete us. But here's the gentle truth that will set you free. You are already whole. You were born whole. Your desires are not about becoming worthy. They're about expressing the worthiness that already exists within you. Manifestations don't complete you. They're simply experiences your soul wants to have from a place of fullness, not emptiness. When your identity is tied to results, you create the ultimate resistance frequency. You're essentially saying to the universe, I am broken until you give me this thing. And the universe cannot give you wholeness, because wholeness is not something that can be given. It can only be remembered, recognized, and returned to. The practice here is the deepest work of all, and it requires infinite gentleness with yourself. Begin to notice when you make your worth conditional on outcomes. When you catch yourself doing this, place your hand on your heart and remind yourself, I am already enough. This desire is something I want to experience, not something I need to become complete. Love yourself before the manifestation arrives. Love yourself while you're waiting. Love yourself regardless of whether it ever comes in the form you're imagining. This is not spiritual bypassing. This is spiritual truth. You are already the love you're seeking. Recognizing these signs is not about judging yourself or trying to fix anything. It's about developing the gentle awareness that allows resistance to dissolve naturally, like ice melting in warm water. If you found yourself in any of these patterns, be patient and kind with yourself. This is deep work, and it happens in layers, not all at once. For deeper nervous system support in releasing these patterns, there's a gentle, 5-minute guided meditation on the channel focused on letting go. This practice will help you gently soften these grips and return to your natural state of trust. It's there whenever you're ready. Remember, you are guided. You are protected. You are already whole. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with me today.